Action. Oh, it's me. Hello. Welcome to the Do Yoga Do You podcast. Just move my chair in here. It's kind of I need a taller chair, but welcome. I'm here to teach you how to mind so you can care more about yourself, your family, your friends, your partner, your pets, your community, the earth we live in. This is my honey room / office, and let's just get started. Let me pull up my notes. I am excited to bring, more content to the world to help you guys realize we all have something to create. And it starts by lighting your lotus inside. We all have this beautiful flower that sits in our hearts. As a yogi, I truly believe that. And when we take the time to do yoga, we can be a better version of ourselves every day. My hope for you tuning in is that you learn something and that you can carry it out into the world or onto your yoga mat and then into the world. And then we can move further as friends and communicate better to the people we love and to ourselves and know what we need so we can live our dream life and be our most authentic selves. Today we're going to get into, my rituals and daily practices I try to do every day. And to rewind, I would like to just start in as, how are you doing as a human? Me personally, life is always a roller coaster, ebb and flow of joy and sadness, and I think that's totally fine. Yesterday I was listening to a podcast. I believe it was the Almost 30 podcast. I'll link it in the show notes. I need to write a note about that. Let me just put a link to Almost 30. But the Almost 30 podcast is, I'm a one-woman team right now, so this is the first episode, number 1, and I'm going to be guiding you guys through every day to hopefully encourage you to do yoga every day. So right now, this is going to be my mind right now with being episode 1, just trying to figure out how the fuck we're going to flow. So just try to enjoy. We're going to integrate with how are you as a human, always check in with yourself. As soon as you wake up in the morning, I always just say a thank you to, I call it the total body scan. And I just say thank you to my toes, my ankles, whatever my consciousness is coming towards, my legs, just bringing awareness to my body as soon as my eyes open in the morning. That's ritual number 1. I think it's the most important thing you can do for yourself is just bringing gratitude to your body first. And then remember to be grateful for the person laying next to you, your dogs, your cats, your snakes, your spiders, your bees. I'm also a beekeeper, so we'll begin to doing lots of talks on bees. But in the end of the day, or at the beginning of your day, your gratitude will shine through and allow you to light your light when you can be fully in tune with what you're grateful for and what you're trying to accomplish in life. Breathe. That's ritual number 2. I would love to start my day with meditation. I don't always get there first, and it's going to be this new step in 2024. I just got this new space heater. My house is kept at 62. It's cold. So I also suggest you do that too. Why run heat when you're your body operates better when it's cold anyway, but sometimes it's harder to get motivated when the space is so cold. So I'm trying this new thing where hey, maybe if I have a space heater kick on at 6 a.m., it'll make me want to go downstairs and meditate, say my affirmations, maybe read a good self-help book or poem or some yoga sutras, whatever you're being called to do in that morning spirit. I'm calling it the spiritual awakening time. It's when we can connect with our with God and this the seat of consciousness. So whatever you like to call that, whatever religion you are, I think that is when we can tune into our spiritual selves, is that morning piece, as opposed to sleeping the morning away. As much as that feels great, I love my fucking bed. So for me, it's I'm not a morning person, but it's going to be a goal of mine to bring that spiritual awakening into my self and daily practice. So then my next question for you after you check in with yourself is, have you done yoga today? And yoga doesn't mean, for me, I've been self-practicing for 5+ years. So yoga to me is getting on your mat and doing asanas, whether it's meditation is part of, it's pranayama and pratyahara and dharana, the other 8 limbs, but meditation is part of asana. It's sukhasana, it's sitting, breathing, first asana. Get that done, but the rest of the asanas allow you to wake up your chi, wake up your flow, wake up your light, so that then the light can shine the rest of the day. And yeah, granted, we all have schedules and all these things, so sometimes you can't get to yoga till later in the day, but just honor yourself knowing that like that's what your body needed. But I've found when I can get yoga done before all my other chores or all my other to-dos, and like just set like let's just start, like just say I'm gonna get yoga done before noon this week and see how that makes you feel. And that's how your practice can start happening. And I think daily practice is so important. It's not just going to yoga once a week. You will not benefit from yoga. You'll get a little benefit, but you won't get that true benefit that comes with a daily commitment, the consistency of holding these asanas. I always fuck that up. It's okay. Asanas. That's how we learn, by messing up and doing and starting. Thank you, my mentor, Nicole Beasy. Go listen to her. You know everything. Her podcast is brilliant. I feel like she's always just speaking directly to me. So just know at the beginning of the day, if you can knock out a gratitude scan, some meditation, and then get on your yoga mat at home, you're not only going to save yourself time, but you're actually going to benefit and then be able to move on through the rest of the day. I'm not hating on going to a studio. I think there's so much benefit from having friends and yoga community to go tap into, but like if you can't keep the consistency, which I think having to drive and travel makes it hard to keep consistent, the self-practice at home will help balance your day-to-day and like not needing that. I've done the calculations. I think we waste an hour going to somewhere because like driving somewhere, let's say 10-20 minutes, maybe you can even walk out the door, but just like preparing and going as opposed to just whipping out your mat and getting on your mat. And the next thing leads me to, they're not sponsored, but get a good app. And my go-to app is Down Dog. I haven't used it for like 6 years, but it's the best AI yoga app I've ever found in terms of how good you are, time you have, and like the style you're wanting. It has like 8 different styles, but like we'll get more into that as the episodes progress because I use it every day. But it's because it allows me to stay consistent. So with all this talk about rituals and like, what's the other thing I want to talk about? Sorry, I feel like I'm having a brain fart. Rituals and numerology. We haven't talked about that yet. I was like, what am I forgetting? Sorry. But the rituals aspect is like, it's not just the morning, it's every second. Like you could basically make your whole day a ritual, which is super fun. But then you have to also take a step back and know that like, if you can't do this ritual, it's okay. Just like live in the moment too. But I think when I guess like, it's just like an ebb and flow and an infinity symbol of like, did I do this ritual? Yes. Okay. I can't get to that one. Let's do the other ritual, you know? And then they can like balance each other. Like I love having mantras a part of my life. I say tons of Sanskrit mantras, but mantras can be anything. It could be freedom for you, like whatever word's calling you. But Sanskrit has this other like thing that we'll get further into in these other podcasts is like Sanskrit has the power of sound tied into the words, which I think every word has power and sound, but Sanskrit's like the like spiritual godly language in my head. So that's why I love like, let's just use the healing mantra I say almost every day, multiple times a day. Ra, ma, da, sa, se, so, hum. It's 8 words that you have to memorize. You can say it again, but breathe. Ra, ma, da, sa, se, so, hum. That's a healing mantra. So I say that mantra all the time when I'm not feeling good, like having headaches, or trying to heal my ankles when I hurt them, or whatever, like pain, shoulder pains you're having. Like that mantra is so powerful for me. The other one is Om. Well, that's just one. But then Om Mani Padme Hum. And that one, honestly, at the top of my head, I think it's bringing like Mother Nature and the universe, I'm looking it up right now, into your heart. But I always mess it up being a white girl, learning all this stuff. But Google's your best friend. And the meaning is, praise the jewel in the lotus. Love it. So like that lotus, your inner lotus, everyone has one. It's your power, it's your intention, it's your soul guiding you. And I think when you do yoga, you light that lotus and it allows you to do any other hobby, any other passion, any other thing you want to accomplish to the fullest. When you can light and ignite the chakras and the wheels and the lotus and allow yourself to live with true intention. And that's what I'm trying to do every day. And I guess I'm super fortunate to be in this position as a white woman living in America who had 2 white parents in suburbia that have just made my life extremely fucking easy. And granted, I've made choices that have allowed me to challenge myself a little further. Like, I didn't want to take over my parents' like business, which was like, it was a very successful daycare, you know, and it could have led to a millionaire lifestyle, but like, that's not what I'm chasing. I'm chasing happiness. And I hope everyone can find what truly makes them happy and not care about the money aspect. But it's so easy for me to say when I'm speaking of in this position. So I want to acknowledge people who are not as fortunate as me, and we all, though, can ignite our lotus and like, so I think succum's the right word, like persevere to reach your true potential. And like, money does not buy happiness, however, it does make it easier. So like, I'm definitely fortunate enough to not have like money be my main problem, but it is because like I live in debt. And like, I just get lucky when like my parents bought me a condo like when in college and gave it to me. So like that money helped, and now I already used that money. Like, it's all energy. And so all I can say is like, put energy towards the things you love, and like, if money is love energy as well, like that should become back to you wholeheartedly, but you have to put intention and effort forth. It's all like, again, I'm going to keep using these like this infinity fucking symbol, but you have to be there to show up. And that means showing up for yourself first, and then you can start, and then unlocking what you want, and then going after those things. And that's why I'm here right now, because I really want to be able to teach people. Shout out Blue Bottle Love. This is just a water bottle. I'm thirsty. All right, let's talk about numerology for a second. Numerology is so fun. I'm still a super amateur, but like, or a beginner, and I love just to teach the beginning steps to people because I teach fundamental soccer and basketball and yoga, and I've done that for the last 14 years. And I think like the biggest thing for people to realize is you can like play with everything in life. Like, everything becomes a game, and numbers is like, with time, 11, like it's the sacred number. And like, it's funny, I was doing today's number with yoga, which is day 334, which ends up being 6. 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 4 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. So today's 1, which is a perfect day to start the podcast. But then if you look at the date, the number 11 comes up, and you could say that's number 2, but according to this horoscope.com, is that really what this is called? Yeah, I think so. I think daily numerology. Either way, it's going to be like the show notes, but listen to what it says. It says, welcome, the essence of the giving 11. So when you see 11 show up, it's called the giving 11, comma 1. With this vibration occurring, you may well find that your thoughts and feelings are directed far more outward towards others than into yourself. This energy can see you focus on what those around you need. So I was trying to focus on what I needed today, especially where education and skills are concerned, which I thought was interesting because I want to teach you guys. Like, this is the whole point of this podcast, is to teach you. If you're in the kind of management position, this can really work for your advantage as far as continuing education and upgrading for your staff. Consider ways you can help others to improve today. And that's like, genuinely, this podcast is to help you. So like, I'm going to need your interaction. Like, leave a comment, ask me if you enjoyed the first episode. I know it's probably garbage, but I also think it's probably pretty good. I'm being hard on myself. So leave me a comment, ask me more of what you want. Did you like the numerology section? I was going to get my tarot deck, which I might go grab, because that's how we're supposed to be starting the episode. I'm going to pull a tarot deck for us and all my listeners and kind of talk about that and the resource I use to, because I'm not a I'm not a tarot guide. What the fuck's it called? Fortune teller. But I want to be, and I think that we can work up to that. But I think we're all our own fortune teller, and like, the power of the tarot deck is so fun because when you start using it to like just asking it a question every day, it really can help. You can just use it as a guide, and like, you can use anything as a guide. That's like the other trippy thing that's been like hitting me hard lately. Even podcasts, like lately, whether it was my friend's podcast that came out today, Nicole Beasley, I love you. You know everything, goes there. But it was about the power of perfectionism, or the problem with perfectionism, and like, it's the whole reason why this podcast hasn't fucking started, because I'm too afraid, or like this fear of not producing like the perfect material. So we're just gonna go with it. I'm gonna post the shit out of this. Let me sip. I'm gonna post and ghost. Not post and ghost. But please communicate back with me. Leave comments in the YouTube page. hit me up on Instagram at the Tracy Mitchell. I'm gonna post it like a short. I don't know. We're gonna figure out the YouTube shorts too. But like either way, your interaction and like on Spotify, I'll leave the comment answers question open. I would love to hear from you people. Please leave a review, 5-star, 1-star, whatever. Like, let me know what you're thinking and if you like what you're hearing. It would be super fantastic. Let's keep going. I have some notes that I want to look at again, just because my head's always all over the place. And I actually wrote you guys notes. So we did the human check-in. I hope you've done yoga today. My favorite pose of today, I did it right when I got up, and honestly getting up and doing yoga before I go on my walk. So we walk our dogs. We have 2 dogs, a boxer and like a pit bull mix, boxer pitty mix. And he's all the things. I love him. Tabasco and Penelope. But those 2 dogs get their walks every day. We try to do 2 walks every day. And like we try to, this is another ritual that you guys should try to implement, is like getting that morning sunlight on your eyes without sunglasses on. And then like if it's after 4 p.m. your walk, you probably definitely want to put sunglasses or blue light blockers on. But this is all to help like initiate like and like restore your melatonin cycle and like help you regulate your nervous system. And that helps actually me get into this little cute picture that I found. Animal Herbals. I'll post that little tag, but I found this on Pinterest, but it was just a funny thing that popped up when I like created my Pinterest account for Do Yoga Do You, TM@gmail, if you want to email me, and go to the website and buy the book soon. I'm releasing a book in March, guys. Be ready. It's all about the yoga journey and how to have a daily practice. So, how to regulate your nervous system. Nature and sunshine. Forest bathing and sunshine are medicine to the nervous system. So get the fuck outside, guys. Bare feet. I have my new ritual lately has been going outside when it's sunny out and putting my bare feet in the ground while I read or write or journal, tarot pull, whatever. And then turn down the volume and unnecessary stimuli to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. It's so true. Like, if you are hearing things and it's like making you go like this, like, take a second, breathe. Figure out whether it's the headphones are too loud, your neighbor's blowing a weed blower, you don't like it. Like breathe into it, and then figure out how you can adjust that sound for sure. Hug, cuddle, and embrace. Heart-to-heart hugs. Oh my gosh, it's the best feeling you can ever give someone and give yourself, is that connection. And holding hands is even stronger than a kiss, I've read, because of all of our nerve endings in our hands. So to elevate, release endorphins and oxytocin. Yeah, cool. Ground yourself. Whether it's bare feet or try a weighted blanket or walking barefoot, it helps relieve anxiety and it grounds you. And honestly, I want to get tougher at doing that, like going barefoot, walking, but that's also like I live in the city and not necessarily going to happen. But I honestly think when we go on hikes, me and my husband, we're going to start having like a 10-15 minute period where we take our shoes off and walk barefoot. I think that's going to work. Make time for space to tend to your needs and do activities that feed your soul. So like if you aren't giving yourself any time, like 30 minutes, I would say is minimum of alone time, like you need to do that. Please do that for yourself. Whether you're a mom or not, figure out how you can get your husband or your partner to help you. It's important. You might hear my dog in a second. Shake it off by physically moving your body to shake off built up energy. So like that's why I'm suggesting doing yoga every day. And then if you're doing it at home, I'm telling you, that saves you an hour and 20 minutes. So if you like to go rock climbing, you not only got yoga done at home, now you got an hour to go rock climbing. Hey, Tabasco. Say hi to the fans. Cold plunges. Oh, my favorite. You gotta get in the ice or ice fast. Cold plunges are better. It's a more meditative experience. You're aiming for 3 minutes. It's the minimum dose effect. You're initiating the healing response by doing this. So like, and so many other things, but that is the most important first part, is healing response initiated. And like, that means it will help anything you don't even know what's wrong with you, ideally. And like, it's said to help like crazy diseases. So I say just try it and stop being such little cotton-headed ninny muggins. Cotton-headed ninny muggins. Eat healthy fats. I put grass-fed butter in my coffee first thing in the morning. I need to start being more productive with the ghee we have, but I bought this herb blend and I don't really want to put that in my coffee, so maybe I need to figure out a ghee recipe. Shout out to anyone who can help me send me a ghee recipe. I need to also just Google it. Duh. And good sleep. If you need 8 hours, get 8 hours. If you feel tired, take a nap. But you need to make sure when you take naps, like there's a sweet book called Why We Sleep. I'm sure it gets into it. I've actually never read that book. I've just heard multiple great reviews on it. It's in my queue. But we sleep to restore. And if you're not getting enough sleep, you're not restoring your body, and that leads to sickness and disease. So again, your self-care and brings awareness. By doing yoga, you bring awareness, and then it all follows. And that's the 9 ways this thing suggests how you regulate your nervous system. My other thing would be saunas and more meditations and drinking more water. And to talk about hydration. All right, what lunar phase are we in? Do you guys know? Gemini. It's the bigger moon. It's a waxing crescent phase. The full moon was on, today's Wednesday. I think it was on Monday night. Maybe Tuesday night. It wasn't last night. It was the night before. But I always like checking in with the moon. As a woman, our menstrual cycle, if you didn't know, if you're a man tuning in, females' menstrual cycle go with the lunar phases. And sometimes we're having our menstrual cycle on the full moon or on the new moon. And sometimes in between too, because we get dysregulated. So it's really important to tune in, check in. Like I was supposed to get mine's 2 days late. I've been taking my temperature, like another ritual. I take my temperature every day with a thermometer. That's actually a Bluetooth thermometer that sends it to my phone. But it's a great way of tracking your cycle and knowing your fertility. And ideally you can track your cervix size, but I don't necessarily like fingering myself to check that. I like vibrating tools better to have fun with myself and not just putting my fingers up there. But it's for a purpose, but I just have never enjoyed that check. All right, moving on. The third way is knowing like when you're, what is the third way? Temperature, cervix, and, oh wow, embarrassing. There's 3 ways to know. I think it's also just knowing if you're on your fucking period, you're not pregnant. So I think it's just knowing what phase of your cycle's in. Because like there's only a 5-day window and it's when you're ovulating. So like tuning into when you ovulated is the third way, I believe. All right, so I looked up this moon phase and the website is called mooncircles.com, and I just thought it was awesome that it said this. It says, to keep stress from going into your shoulders, arms, or hands, think my limbs are long and supple. Just tell yourself that. Sending your breath there to create more space. So I always just think as a yogi too, just like posture, it brings a great posture, and you can kind of tune into where your shoulders are standing, because this is not good posture, and I was probably sitting like that half the fucking podcast. Either way, join with the day's ping pong of energy, that's today, and discover new life direction. Ooh, new podcast. Great. Listen for a sudden inspiration when you've been stuck. In my friend's podcast, Nicole's, that just came out, was like, I swear she was fucking just being like, dude, go record it right now. And I was trying to record yesterday and I just never got to it. And I was like, I gotta just fucking press start and press play and see what it looks like, see what happens, fucking just post it. Episode 1 is coming out. But you're not gonna hear this episode, honestly, till fucking January. So I'll probably post it after episode 1. Episode 1 is going to be January 1st. So this is actually episode 2. But it's okay if we're checking in this way. It's cool with me. So on this, listen to sudden inspiration. We did that. On a Gemini moon long ago, a sailor found himself in high winds and choppy water, his boat tossing like a toy. The day's turbulence called for his fear and his faith. Or called forth for his fear and his faith. Zeus sent his Gemini sons Castor and Pollux to help. They flashed twin beams of light, directing the sailor to safety. You never know when help will come. Faith is most precious when there's no reason for it. When it's just an idea you send into the turbulent air, watch the sky for signs. And honestly, that's why I read it to you guys, because I feel like I was just being pushed and pulled into this room today. I wish you could see what looks behind me. Maybe I'll show you right at the end. But my room's a disaster, and it's not the podcast room of my dreams, but this is my dream. I want to be able to be sharing my knowledge and everything I've acquired over the last, I would say, my whole life, but like really in the last 10 to 15, 18 years since I was a young pup in college to now. And like, I would love to help you be able to face these challenges with ease and grace and not have to have your life feel so heavy. Because it is heavy sometimes, and it's okay if it does feel heavy. And then this other lady, Simone Butler, she has a book called Moon Power, Lunar Rituals for Connecting with Your Inner Goddess, which I need to put in my queue which it is, but she was on this website as well. It was kind of like a blog about the Gemini moon in today. So it's a horoscope, but when Luna flies through Gemini, it feels like time is moving faster than usual. Expect a greater number of phone calls, emails, and requests you must respond to. Although you may feel a bit scattered, your brain will be firing on all cylinders and you can get a lot done in a short amount of time. Just remember to set aside downtime. This busy moon can easily wear you out. Watch for brilliant ideas from out of the blue. For more, go to Simone's book. But that shit was also hitting hard because, like, on the way home from coaching the kids from Boom Sports today, I was feeling exhausted. I was like, how am I going to have the energy to do this? But I gave myself time. We heated up our chicken noodle soup we made last night and a leftover burrito that we had breakfast burritos made up. And I put my feet in the earth outside and did a tarot pull for myself and journaled for a minute. And then, like, came inside, did some dishes. And then I was like, let's go. I was listening to Nicole and she's so like inspirational to me. She's one of my expanders. And I was just thinking like, she would just go press record. And like, I'm trying to be like more like the people who inspire me. And that's the only thing I can also recommend is just like keep reaching. Don't mimic, but do you. That's what the yoga part, do yoga, do you. But be yourself, but also find those people that you want to be like who are living their dream. And you're like, ooh, that looks nice. That looks like pull pieces from every person. Like shout out my homie Emily Strong, go listen to her podcast too, Meathead Hippie. But like those two came to mind directly because they both have podcasts. They both have their own businesses. They're both making money as boss ass, fucking sexy ass goss women and doing their fucking thing. And like my husband and I have been running our own coaching business for 14 years to little kids. And like we lost our last two vendors. We've had 3 vendors and we're down to just this one. And it's not just the one, it's our first one that like believes in us to begin with. And like I keep getting more and more appreciative of these like little hours I get to coach because it's like an impactful moment to like I get all emotional to work with little kids. And it's just like really special. Man. Whew. Get all teary-eyed over here. Alright. Oh, more rituals. Alright, so we talked about meditation. I'll get into like the ones I like to do, but like just see if you can go sit for 10 minutes. Like just start there and breathe and try to not think about anything. But I will at least tell you Ziva method, stress less, accomplish more. I think Emily Fletcher. But that's all I'm gonna say because I want to have a whole podcast about her shit because I've used it for like the last 2 years. Turn brushing teeth into a time of affirmation and prayer, and also legs up the wall. If you don't know what legs up the wall is, you lay on your back and then you put your legs up the wall. And I suggest you like walk to the side, sit down, and then swing your hips up, and then shimmy your booty to the ground. I might be able to actually show you guys right here. I didn't have those honey jars in my way. But brushing your teeth with your legs up helps stretch your hamstrings and like makes your mind like not choke on make sure you don't choke on your spit that you're gathering, but you're holding all your spit in your mouth while you're brushing, and then you're saying all these prayers and thinking of the people you love and sending them good vibes. I'll tell you the prayer next time. For 2 minutes, you switch each person. 8 people. It's about 2 minutes. If you go slow and you say the prayer I say. You say the prayer I say. Prayer Jabez. I'm a hippie-ash weirdo person. That's a Christian prayer I learned, but I say that prayer almost every day because it's a power. You're asking for abundance. Why would you not say the prayer? Who cares what religion you are? We're all humans. That's my whole biggest concern about these religious things. All right, my hair's a disaster. I don't brush my hair. I do brush my hair once in a while, like once a month, once a week. Making coffee with mantras. So I make coffee with my husband, and he's my partner in life and my best friend, and he doesn't really like making coffee, but he loves drinking it, and I like making it, and I love drinking it. So I take the time to like put love into the coffee, like say mantras, say protection prayers, ask for universal protection, ask for angels to watch over him. He likes to go ride his motorcycle all the time. Like, we're on the highway. Like, I'm realistic. Like, every time you get in your car, there's a chance of, like, you not getting back home. So, like, just having that, like, asking for a prayer when you're brushing your teeth or making coffee is, like, a great way to be connected to source and the seed of consciousness and also to your community. Like, say a prayer for your neighbors, even if you don't know them. Just send them good vibes and healing, like, intentions. Like, that's all we can do. That's how we're going to raise the vibration on this planet, is caring about yourself and then which will allow you to care about others. I promise you. I promise you that. I think we're done, guys. Shout out to our sponsors. Myself, Do Yoga Do You. Go get the book when it's out. It should be out right now because it's supposed to be episode 2 right now. But this is November 29th, 2023. But podcast is not dropping until the first of the year. So this is going to be an episode. And at the Tracy Mitchell, if you want to follow me on Instagram. I didn't want to make another page. I have like 7, 8 pages I may have. I can list all of them if you'd like. At the Boomstead, at Mile High Migraines Info will teach you how to grow migraines. Guy at carbon_based designs _ they're all underscore between each word. carbon_based_designs leads you to my husband's woodworking. Smile for the Wheelie. Go check us out on our motorcycles. Little Miss Smoke a Lot is my weed page. Little Miss Smokes a Lot. So there's so many things you can go see what we do. doyogaDo.com said that. Aboomlife.com. That's our like blog for homesteading. You want to learn about how to like make bone broth or make apple cider vinegar or plant a garden, grow migraines. It will connect you to everything, even Do Yoga Do You. And then our friends over at Cultivated Hemp Company, another sweet sponsor of ours, they don't even know this podcast exists yet, but I'm sure they'd be more than happy to give you guys some discounted CBD. Go to cultivatedhempcompany.com and use code BOOM25 to get yourself 25% off on the best CBD on the planet, I think. It's local if you're from Colorado, and I do think they ship nationwide, if not internationally. If you're looking for the amazing CBD, go get yourself some. And I think we're done. I think I got nothing else to tell you guys. What do you think? Sorry about I'll clean up this shit for you guys soon. I'm trying to make this room super pimp. I feel like there was something else I wanted to tell you, but peace and love. That's it. I don't know what else to say. Let me think. Oh, you want to see my disaster? It's a disaster! Alright, guys. Till next time. I think we did at least one episode just now. It feels good. I remembered. We were going to do a tarot poll. I guess we're going to start doing them at the beginning or the end. This is the Rider-Waite series. It's the original tarot deck, so I suggest you go get this. Under the direction of author Edward Waite. I think the illustrator was a girl, though. Alright, what does Do Yoga Do You need to know? And my whole community of listeners. All 0 of you. I'm just kidding. It's not, I have 0 until I post you. I feel like the thing was, I hope it wasn't crooked all the time. Alright, I shuffle it 3 times, and then we're going to pull it up on Biddy. But what do we need to know as listeners of the new pod? Do Yoga Do You? What do we need to know as a community? I always just ask, what do I need to know myself? But this is a poll for us as a group. Yeah, my new friends. Thanks for tuning in. You're gonna see me a lot. Maybe twice a week. Who knows? Maybe every day. All right. 3 knocks. Let me flip. Oh, do we not split it? Let's split it. We didn't split the deck. This is it. Boop, boop, boop. Ooh, 2. 5 of Pentacles. Uh-oh. Doesn't look like the best card. But we'll see. We're gonna type it in. The 5 of Pentacles is a card when upright, meaning to lose all faith, loses resource, losing a lover. I don't think we're losing anything. It doesn't know us yet. Financial loss, poverty, lack mindset, isolation, worried. I ain't worried. See, sometimes they're just not good. 2 people walk through the icy wind and snow. Both are destitute and living in poverty. One man is injured on crutches while the other is barefoot and has only a thin blanket to protect him from the bleak winter weather. Behind them sits a church with its lit up and exuding warmth, a symbol of hope, faith, and spiritual support. However, because the 2 people are so focused on the plight, they fail to see that help is available to them and continue on their desperate journey. I would just say that I'm hoping to be your spiritual guide if I'm looking at this, and you can either keep walking or you can join in and go inside and be a part of the spiritual path. Financial loss and poverty. I think we're all hitting hard times. Self-esteem low. I don't know, you just go look it up. If it's upright like this, you look up the upright. If it's reversed, you look at the reversed. I kind of want to do one more pull for us. This card has, maybe we didn't shuffle enough. It's been sitting dormant for a long time. We're going to bring more love. I don't really like shuffling this deck. It's so big, but these are the accurate drawings. There's lots to do with the photos and the pictures themselves. Like how I interpreted the church to be like the podcast and like the two people to be listeners or viewers. Like, you may not listen. You may not, it's okay. Like, I don't, like, tune in and keep tuning in or don't. If I can help one person every day, like, believe in themselves and, like, learn something about their body and be able to go get an ice bath or do something that I talk about doing all the time. What do we need to know, Wise and Mighty Tarot? We are listening. I just shuffled it 3 times. I did a split. We got this 8 of Cups. But he's sitting on a path with the 8 of Cups behind him. And there's a full moon, or it actually looks like a lunar eclipse. But let's look it up. But the deck gets to know us. The more we use her 8 of Cups. So then I just go into Biddy search engine, you type in 8 of Cups. But she's a tarot reader. She actually has the classes you can take from her. I haven't really done that part. I kind of like just looking it up each time and not making my brain have to remember this stuff yet. Disappointment, abandonment, withdrawal, escapism. That's what you guys need to think about. Maybe these are for you, not me. The 8 of Cups, a man walks from the 8 of Cups standing in the foreground. The cups are arranged in such a way it looks like one is missing, a sign that emotional fulfillment and wholeness is lacking. The man has turned his back on these cups with a sense of loss and disappointment and shuffles away in the mountains. A nearby river symbolizes emotions, and the mountains represent the awareness that this will not be an easy journey through. It will be necessary for true long-term happiness. Ooh. The moon of the night sky illuminates the path ahead. The man is leaving in the dead of night, hoping to go another, suggesting that there may be a level of escape or avoidance in this card. There you go. But if you want to go further, go to biddytarot.com. Again, I'll link her in the show notes. In these 2 cups, or these 2 readings, I guess. But take it for what it is. They're both upright. Maybe it's directly speaking to you today. I can see how the first one was speaking to me a little more, but this one also as well. Like, sometimes you have to leave what you thought and just go. And, like, this is suggesting going to nature. And you'll find true long happiness. And, like, the journey isn't going to be hard. And, like, going into nature for me is, like, having these experiments, even just today, like putting my feet in the ground is nature. Like hearing the mountain chickadees outside today, nature. Oh, this other thing I want to talk to you guys about before I actually say goodbye on this first episode is if you're having anxiety or like can't feel like you can regulate your nervous system as well, this is one, like it's called the rule of 5. 5 things you see, 4 things you hear, 3 things you see, or 3 things you see, hear, touch, taste, smell. Why am I messing? Touch, taste, smell. See, hear, touch. And touch is last. Smell. We talked about it. See, 5 things you see. 4 things you can hear. 3 things you can touch. 2 things you can feel. Touch. We just said touch. See, hear, taste, touch. Why can't I figure it out? Oh my God. How embarrassing. 5 senses. Because that's really really getting me right now. 5 things you can see. 4 things you can hear. 3 things you can smell. 2 things you can touch. 1 thing you can taste. That took way too long. Oh wow, brain fart. That's okay. I'm going to spray more rainbow unicorn farts all over you guys the more you tune in. So rainbow unicorn farts, ignite. Love you guys. Peace, love, happiness. Love yourself, love others. Or I guess love yourself so you can love others. Bye-bye.